The Gospel of Matthew. The Crucifixion of Jesus. Matthew 27:32-50. Introduction 1. Without question, the crucifixion of Jesus was a terrible event. A. It was an excruciating and painful way to die, which Jesus was willing to accept without pain-killing drugs. Matthew 27:32-35. As they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name, and they compelled him to go with them, that he might carry his cross. They came to a place called Golgotha, that is to say, the place of a skull. They gave him sour wine to drink mixed with gall. When he had tasted it, he would not drink. When they had crucified him, they divided his clothing among them, casting lots. TR adds that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, "They divided my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots." See Psalm 22:18 and John 19:24. B. It was a shameful way to die, mocked by those who watched, crucified with common thieves. Matthew 27:36-44. And they sat and watched him there. They set up over his head the accusation against him written, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Then there were two robbers crucified with him, one on his right hand and one on the left. Those who passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads, and saying, "You who destroy the temple, and build it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." Likewise the chief priests also mocking, with the scribes, the Pharisees, and the elders, said, "He saved others, but he can't save himself. If he is the King of Israel, let him come down from the cross now, and we will believe in him. He trusts in God. Let God deliver him now, if he wants him. For he said, 'I am the Son of God.'" The robbers also who were crucified with him cast on him the same reproach. See, along with the physical suffering, there was the spiritual agony. Matthew 27:45-50. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. About the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani?" That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Some of them who stood there, when they heard it, said, "This man is calling Elijah." Immediately one of them ran, and took a sponge, and filled it with vinegar, and put it on a reed, and gave him a drink. The rest said, "Let him be. Let's see whether Elijah comes to save him." Jesus cried again with a loud voice, and yielded up his spirit. 2. While there may be a place for contemplating upon the actual physical agony Jesus endured. A. Jesus did not want people to weep for him, but for themselves. Luke 23:26-31. B. Even on the cross, his concern for others was evident. Luke 23:34. So the purpose of the crucifixion was not just to engender pity for Jesus. 1. The condemnation of sin. A. Jesus died because of sin. 1. As foretold, he died for our sins. 1 Corinthians 15:3. Isaiah 53:5-6. 2. He gave himself for our sins. Galatians 1:4. 3. He bore our sins on the cross. 1 Peter 2:24. May the thought of the crucifixion remind us of our own sinfulness and the need for redemption. 1 John 1:8-10. B. Jesus killed sin. 1. He condemned sin in the flesh through his death. Romans 8:3. 2. Now making it possible for sinners to destroy their own body of sin when united with him by baptism into his death. Romans 6:3-6. May the thought of the crucifixion remind us of our duty to crucify the sinful passions of the flesh. Galatians 5:24. Colossians 3:5-11. 2. The revelation of love. A. Jesus died because of love. 1. The love of the Father for a lost world. John 3:16. Romans 5:8. 2. The love of the Son. Ephesians 5:2. May our contemplation of the crucifixion never neglect the love that was behind the fact. 1 John 4:9-10. B. Jesus thereby demonstrated what true love is. 1. We now understand the meaning of true love. 1 John 3:16. John 15:13. 2. His love serves as the pattern for our love. John 13:34-35 and 15:12. May our contemplation of the crucifixion remind us of the high standard of love we are called to show toward one another. 1 John 4:11. 3. The redemption of the world. A. Jesus died for all. 1. God desires all men to be saved, not desiring any to perish. 1 Timothy 2:3-6. 2 Peter 3:9. 2. Therefore he offered Jesus as a propitiation for all. 1 John 2:1-2. May our meditation upon the crucifixion include thinking about the need of others. B. Jesus is the world's only hope. 1. He is the only way to the Father. John 14:6. 2. Only in his name is salvation to be found. Acts 4:12. 3. Deny the Son, and one does not have the Father. 1 John 2:23. 4. Abide in his doctrine, and one has both the Father and the Son. 2 John 9. May our meditation upon the crucifixion move us to do what we can to proclaim the message of redemption to those lost in sin. 2 Corinthians 5:18-6. 1. 4. The inspiration of sacrifice. A. Jesus provided the example. 1. His death demonstrated the mind of humility. Philippians 2:3-8. 2. His suffering demonstrated the example of suffering patiently. 1 Peter 2:20-24. May our reflection upon the crucifixion move us to consider what his sacrifice should inspire us to do. B. Jesus' sacrifice is designed to inspire us. 1. To walk in love. Ephesians 5:2. 2. To walk in humility. Philippians 2:3-5. 3. To suffer patiently when mistreated for doing good. 1 Peter 2:20-24. 4. To give of ourselves to others. 2 Corinthians 8:9. 1 John 3:16-18. Conclusion. 1. Certainly more could be said about the crucifixion of Jesus. 2. But perhaps these few thoughts will increase our appreciation of this significant event. A. His death is the condemnation of sin. B. His death is the revelation of love. C. His death is the redemption of the world. D. His death is the inspiration of sacrifice. 3. Have you taken advantage of what the crucifixion of Jesus means for you? A. Have you been crucified with Christ? B. Are you putting to death the deeds of the flesh? C. Are you growing in love? D. Are you concerned and doing something about the redemption of the world? E. Are you inspired in your service to your brethren and the lost by the example of Jesus' sacrifice? In the words of the Apostle Paul, we then, as workers together with him, also plead with you not to receive the grace of God in vain. 2 Corinthians 6:1. The end. The Gospel of Matthew. The crucifixion of Jesus. Matthew 27:32-50.